Hello, chickens. This is the fabulous Adam Richard, and I have a theory.
Oh, hello, chickens. Listen to this voice. It is very, very croaky and horrible. I'm sorry to leave you hanging for the last few weeks. As you can hear, I'm still not better. I'm a bit of a mess. So I do want to say thank you to everyone who has, stuck around, basically, while this mess has been going on. You've all been delightful, and I'm thrilled to have you here, part of the gang. The billing will recommence at some point soon. We are in the middle of The Story and the Engine, which, one of my favourite episodes of the Ncuti Gatwa era. We are also in the middle of a very exciting time for Doctor Who, because there are new old episodes. New old Who, it's my favourite thing in the entire world. I cannot tell you how much I love it. Also, if you are watching this online, because I'm putting up videos now, because there's something wrong with me. I don't have enough to do in my life. But if you are watching this online, you might see I've got a little cut on my head, which also goes with the giant bruise on my hand. And whatever this mess is, I've got like a speckledy business on my other hand. Mummy fell over. I've had a fall. Like, it was bad enough a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, actually. Was it 3 years ago? It was 2023. Yeah. When I fell over and wrecked my leg. This was a small fall. I didn't even know there was such a thing as a small fall, but I was running for a train, and I slipped and fell forward onto it was on a hill. Like, it was like a ramp. I was running up the, I could have been on the stairs, in which case I would have tumbled back down like I was in Dynasty, as we used to call it in Australia. Dynasty, last time on Dynasty. Anyway, so I've got a cut on my head, but I think that might be where my glasses popped out and popped me in the head, as opposed to, say, actually hurting myself. So yeah, I'm just a little bit sprainedy. I went to the urgent care and they checked and they said there's nothing wrong, realistically. But anyway, thank you for being patient through my many voice problems, my RSV. And yeah, there's new old Who. So I'm going to just record episodes after I've watched them. And you may or may not hear my voice go back to this huskiness at some point in the future. We'll see how we go. But they're not technically available in Australia, but, all you need is a VPN and a YouTube. They are free on YouTube in the USA, and they're on iPlayer in the UK. So if you are able to get into either of those countries and, have access to those things, then they're free. If you're in Australia, just got to sit around and twiddle your thumbs, just like we're waiting for The War Between on Disney+. That'll happen when it happens. Anyway, to continue from the last episode, for anyone who is behind and they're finally catching up, we're basically just continuing on with Matt's missive here. So, by the way, I'm in Geelong. If you see a dog floating around at the back, there's a dog biting her leg back there. So I might get bothered by Nala at any point. I'm dog sitting for my sister. She's in Vietnam, which is exciting for her. Anyway, back to Matt's massive missive about The Story and the Engine. Anyone who's just been listening has gone, why has Adam's voice suddenly changed? Because I've become a drag queen in my part-time. Truck driving drag queen. Hello, girls. How's it going? I can do a squeal. Like, that is the only other noise I can make. Although that does make me cough. I shouldn't do it. I don't know how Mariah Carey does it. Like, how does she get that squeal out all the time and not cough? I cough when I squeal. Anyway, so Matt's massive missive. Abina herself tells a story of how slaves escaped captivity while styling the doctor's hair into the most gorgeous but not entirely random pattern. It appears she's woven. Maybe I shouldn't have come back to the podcast so quickly. I'm still convalescing. It appears she's woven a map into the doctor's hair, allowing him to put his final escape plan into action. Running through the maze of the barbershop's back rooms, using his own cornrowed hair to direct him, he's able to locate the story engine in a room full of artifacts from different stories throughout time. Oh my God. I loved this. I loved this as a concept. I did not know this was something that was done. And I think it's just, it's just kind of a beautiful, magical explanation for what is going on with this hairdo. Because it looks amazing and it looks really intricate and like it would take ages. Also, it does look, uncomfortable. Like, that's a lot of pulling hair right at the root. I mean, I don't have any hair, so I wouldn't know. I have some hair, but it's not there where you can see it. Like there's some right here. Like I've got heaps. Ow! Why did I do that? Why did I pull my own hair? Ow! Some here. That hurts too. But yeah, I imagine that constantly pulling and weaving the hair would be, significantly uncomfortable for quite some time. So I think that is, yeah. I mean, there are fewer nerve endings on your head, but I think that, no, I remember getting my hair pulled. It hurts. I mean, I used to pull my sister's hair and she was not fond of it. So yeah, that's some stamina involved in that. That's a lot of kind of, yep, I am really committed to this map hair because it's a necessary thing. I did love, I don't know if you saw the Oscars, Ryan Coogler, the director of Sinners, had a big bass clef in his head, like musical notation and stuff, like just, beautiful, beautiful hair work. I love Ryan Coogler. I think he's quite hot. And I love Sinners. It's an amazing movie. Anyway, that's not what we talk about here at this podcast. I don't even know what... Who knows what we talk about at this podcast? Anyway, the story engine, as Matt says in his missive, is a brain holding all of the stories within. Again, the format or lack of for this show is the only place you'd ever get this stuff. It's simply wonderful, breathtaking, and utterly thrilling. Occasionally, a writer will get their hands on Doctor Who and they just get it. Ncuti Gatwa, who also gets to appear in the story as a stall holder, is certainly in that camp. Well, someone's watched the Unearthed. What's it called? It's not Unearthed, it's Unleashed. Oh my God, it's an unsomething. Is it Unleashed? Doctor Who Unleashed? I can't remember. Unleashed sounds like it did have a leash on and it was... Yeah. Is it really Unleashed? Like that feels like a weird thing to call it. Anyway. Why has that only occurred to me now that that's a weird thing? Unearthed probably would have been better because they're mostly on Earth, but then they're not anyway. It may not be called any of those things. I might just be remembering things badly. I have had a knock on the head. Not even. It's like a scratch at best. You can't even really see it. Oh my God, what am I doing? Anyway. Ncuti Gatwa has created a masterpiece here, and we need so much more like this. This is why we need new and different voices and authors for the series, Matt says. I mean, I think so. Like, my ideal would have been for, I can't remember what the show was, but there was an amazing TV writer who brought in new showrunners to kind of like, develop their craft. on a British show, and this showrunner would just sort of sit above them and, you know, kind of help out. And I kind of wish that Russell T Davies had done that, had brought in someone new, like a Juno Dawson, perhaps, or who I think now is probably too experienced, but someone who only had a little bit of television writing experience, but, you know, had the chops. And Russell sat above like an executive producer. And then the other executive producer was the showrunner. And, you know, just sort of went, yeah, that. But I feel like he has to be involved all the time in writing. He could have written 2 or 3 of the best episodes of the series and just let the other person be in charge. Anyway, that's, you know, things that could have happened and may still happen in the future. Who knows? Anyway, I probably should move on to another episode.